let us jump into the third league of the day. What deck are we playing next? I am hoping for Walls. Spin the wheel. Hardened Scales. All right. All right, so Hardened Scales is basically, essentially, so what happened was Affinity players were playing all of their artifact stuff, and then they were like, oh man, I'm winning with this Affinity deck, but the deck doesn't make me feel smart. I just dump all these artifacts into play, and then I just attack my opponent, and that's it. And it's kind of like just turn your brain off, win the game automatically. How can I make Affinity take a bunch of thinking so I feel like a smart player? And that's how Hardened Scales was born. So Hardened Scales revolves around the card Hardened Scales, and now also Ozolith the Shattered Spire, which are effects that say that if you would have a +1 counter put on a creature, instead you get an additional +1 counter. And then you play a bunch of creatures that have +1 counters on them. So Zabaz, Patchwork Automaton, Arcbound Ravager, Hangerback Walker, Walking Ballista. So you have all of these cards, and then what you do is you use Arcbound Ravager to sack artifacts around, or you use the Zabaz to blow up your own artifacts, and you move counters around primarily to Walking Ballista so you can just shoot your opponent down, or onto Inkmoth Nexus to poison kill the opponent. And then additionally, you can also just sometimes beat down your opponent regularly. You have things like Hangerback Walker, which gets counters and then splits into Thopters, so you can do things like Arcbound Ravager, sack the Hangerback Walker, and then a bunch of Thopters come in, and then you can sack all of those. Ozolith is basically the same thing as Hardened Scales. It just costs one more and has an activated ability that can put a counter on a thing. Zabaz also has this other ability down here for white mana that gives it flying sometimes. And then you've got like modular stuff with Zabaz. And also you have the Ozolith, which works in this really weird way, which means when you sack stuff with modular like Arcbound Ravager, you can move the counters around to both the creature that you're moduling onto and onto the Ozolith. And then the Ozolith puts the counters on stuff. And then a couple copies of, 3 copies of Welding Jar to protect your stuff, Ancient Stirrings to find things that can find everything except Hardened Scales, and then Urza Saga for Urza Saga type stuff. 1 copy of Shadow Spear, 1 copy of Drum that the Urza Saga can get. And then all the rest of the lands are pretty much straightforward, mostly Gruul colors. Then you've got sideboard, 4 Force of Vigors, a bunch of artifact things for various matchups, and Orvar for creativity. So let us jump into the first league with Hardened Scales. So this deck is one of the most difficult decks to pilot because it takes a lot of math. You not only have to do a ton of math, you have to think multiple turns ahead for how you are going to math out and kill your opponent quickly. All right, it is round 1 and we are on the play with Hardened Scales. Let's see, we have no lands, so we must mull. All right, Saga, Canopy, Hardened Scales, looks good to me. Keep and throw back. Okay, what am I doing? Turn 1, Scales. Turn 2, Saga, Ozolith. Turn 3, Patchwork, or Ballista comes out next. Saga probably fetches the other Ozolith. So do I just not want Patchwork Automaton? All right, I'm going to put Patchwork back. All right, Canopy, Scales, pass the turn. Misty Rainforest. And they did nothing. All right. We drew Inkmoth. We don't have Ravager to move anything onto it, though. So it's probably just Saga, Ozolith. Saga, and then play Ozolith. And then pass it back. Opponent fetches. Grabs Rogrin Triumph. Castle Vantress. So in all likelihood, this is blue-white control. So since it's blue-white control, I think I'm just on the make constructs plan. There's also a Ravager Ballista plan. So yeah, let's just play Inkmoth and pass the turn with Saga up. They will have to tap out eventually to deal with the constructs, and at which point we can just kill them with Ravager Ballista. All right, pass to them. So they are just passing it back to us, I guess. Makes sense. All right, make a construct. Then comes back to our turn. Saga trigger, we'll make another construct. Then tutor. So they'll have exile-based removal, so Welding Jars don't do anything here. Zagoth Triumph tapped. I could get Zabaz. So they're getting Leyline Binding mana. So let's see, Zabaz, and then it's another thing in play. Or I could just get Ozolith. All right, let's grab Ozolith. Grab Zabaz. Or no, just grab the Ozolith. All right, go to combat. Swing. Leyline Binding on this. Sure. Let's play another Saga. And then just pass the turn. So we can either just overwhelm them with constructs. Eventually they'll be forced to play Teferi or something, at which point we can just slam these into play and go nuts. Prismatic on Ozolith. Okay. Steam Vents. All right, they're passing it back to us. So Saga goes up to 2. Let's play Welding Jar. Let's go to attacks. Swing. They take 3 down to 13. Let's play this tapped, and then let's pass it back to them and just keep making constructs. Opponent puts Kahira into their hand. Okay. So they're probably planning on evoking Solitude. Make another construct. Saga triggers. And I think I actually want to... If I just float this and then I play Ravager, then they can just... It's probably correct to play Ravager this turn. All right, float. They're the most shields down they're going to be. So let's grab probably just the other Ozolith. Then play a land. And let's use... Is it correct to play Ravager first or Ballista first? I could make it and play both, but I couldn't play both Ravager and Ballista. I want to do both. Let's play Ballista first. Play Ballista. And then let's play Ravager. And now they pretty much have to respond now before I start moving counters all over the place. Solitude. Exiling Kahira. Hitting Ballista. Is this when it leaves? Whenever creature you control leaves the battlefield, if it counters on it, put those counters on the Ozolith. So I want to ping them twice and then move the last counter there. Right, so remove, shoot this, shoot you, remove, shoot you, and then I'll let it get exiled, and then the Ozolith gets a counter on it. All right, Ozolith gets 2 counters, Ravager comes into play with 3 counters, and then let's attack with the Construct, and they're just dead on board to these Constructs unless they do something. So Ozolith trigger, put the counters here. So 7 counters on Ravager, and then swing with both of these Constructs. Oh no, it skipped my combat. No. I wanted to attack. Oh well, I guess I can Ravager onto Inkmoth. Well, that is unfortunately my bad, but I can still salvage this next turn. Unless they play the ring. Alright, we win anyway. Better lucky than good, right? Blue-white control, what do I want? Haywire Might to kill the ring, Pithing Needle for Pithing Needle stuff. They're playing Leyline Binding. I don't think that that alone is a reason to play Force of Vigor. The Welding Jars are completely useless because all of their stuff exiles or bounces. We can move Gemstone Caverns into the deck since we're on the draw, and then that's probably fine. All right, submit. Game 2 on the draw, Hardened Scales versus Blue-White Control. Well, we only have 1 land, so yeah, mulligan. All right, this is keep, and then put back Needle probably. I guess I can what? I can Needle Teferi Time Raveler on turn 1. That is actually probably good, but I don't want to put back any of my lands or Ravager or Ballista or Ozolith, so yeah, let's just put back Needle. Opponent plays a land. So I can Ancient Stirrings or just play the Ozolith. Let's just play the Ozolith. All right, opponent fetches Rogren Triumph, then this resolves, and then it's their turn. Opponent plays Delta. All right, I'm just going to do the Saga game plan again. So let's go cast Ancient Stirrings. I'm not running Ravager or Ballista into a counterspell, so let's just Ancient Stirrings. Ooh, another Ravager or Hanger back. Probably just a second Ravager. And then play Saga, and then play Zabaz. Opponent fetches in response, grabs Hallowed Fountain, shocks it in, so they're going to counter Zabaz. Yeah, countering Zabaz. Back to the opponent. Otawara, play Teferi Time Raveler, bouncing Saga, presumably. Yep. All right, well, just play Saga again, and then I guess I run out Ravager right now. Pass it back. Opponent pluses. All right, back to us. Saga up to 2 counters. Play Karpluzan Forest, attack Teferi. All right, Teferi goes to 1, pass. Holding up Construct activation. Opponent fetches. Gets Zagoth Triumph to complete the domain. And casts Archmage's Charm to draw 2. Sure. Plays another land. Plus is Teferi. All right, make a Construct. We get a Construct. Back to us. We drew Haywire Might, so let's make a Construct. They do have a Teferi, which means they can Wrath at instant speed, but what are you going to do? Fetches in response, grabs a Hallowed Fountain and puts it in tapped. Casts Verdict. All right, so sack the Construct to Ravager. Sack the Construct to Ravager, and then I guess Ravager just dies, right? Yeah. And then I put all the counters on the Ozolith. And then Saga resolves, grabbing Pithing Needle for Teferi or Zabaz. Probably just Pithing Needle for Teferi. Right, name Teferi Time Raveler. And this goes away, and then let's play Saga and play Haywire Might. I do not want to put the counters on Haywire. So back to the opponent. Solitude to eat our Haywire Might. All right. Well, we unfortunately don't have any scales effects, so we can't move counters around that easily. All right, we drew Hanger Back Walker, and then Saga goes up to 2. So I think rather than... all right, so play a land, and then what? I can go Hanger Back on 1 Ravager, and then move all the counters to the Hanger Back Walker, and then set up for next turn with a Ballista. I can't win this turn, right? I've got Ballista, Ravager, sack here, sack the Ravager, put 2 counters on Ballista and 2 counters here. That's not enough, yeah. So let's just go Ravager first. No. Hanger Back Walker, Ravager. So they're representing a Leyline Binding. Opponent casts Leyline Binding in response. Binds the Ozolith. Okay. Well, Ravager. So now we just pass back to them. They play a land. Put Kahira in the hand. Maybe instead of playing Ravager, I should have just gone to combat, put the counters here, but then they would have just bound Hanger back. Kahira. And so then they're just going to attack for 4 with Vigilance. I think we just take that, and then they go up to 18. That's fine. No blocks. All right, back to us. Saga ticks up. We drew another Ballista. All right, so float a mana. I have another Ozolith in my deck. What's the math on this? Float Ballista with 2 counters. Now Ballista with 1 counter. Tick up Hangerback Walker. Sack Hangerback Walker to Ravager. 2 counters go on the Ozolith. 1 counter goes on Arcbound Ravager. Sack the Thopter, the 2 Thopters. This goes up to 4 counters. Ozolith has 2 counters on it. Then Ravager sacks itself, which puts 4 counters on the Ozolith, so 6 counters, modulars onto Ballista. Ballista has 5 counters. Ozolith, 6 goes to Ballista. The Ballista's at 11-11, so that doesn't do it. So it might be better to just make a Construct. All right, make a Construct. Oh, I guess I get 1 more artifact off of here, but then I'm still short, right? Opponent fetches, gets a Plains, so they're going to Binding now. Oh, they're not Binding now. All right. Well, let's just grab Ozolith, see what we draw. Okay. So we've got Ballista, so then I tick Hanger back up. Tick Hanger back up, sack all this stuff. Doesn't matter. Can't kill them this turn. All right. So just pass the turn for now. Leyline Binding. Sure, it resolves. Targeting. The Construct. Sure, I will sack the Construct. They're going to attack with both of these, huh? I guess I can trade with Kahira. I still don't want to, though. I just get so many more counters if I let this go up more. So yeah, I take 7, go to 9, and they go up to 21. Another land. All right, activate Hangerback. Back to me. Inkmoth Nexus. Ballista. I'm going to cast Ballista no matter what anyway, so I may as well just cast it. All right, Ballista for 2. Or for X is 1. Counterspell. All right, Ballista for 1. They fetch in response. Get a Steam Vents tapped. Dress down. So it'll enter with 0 counters and die. All right, that's pretty rough. All right, pass the turn. If they had Dress down to begin with, why didn't they just play that first instead of countering the first one? All right, I can't just keep taking damage, so I will throw Hanger back in front of Kahira, I think. All right, block here. All right, abilities. Onto the stack. Make 2 Thopters, put 2 counters on Ozolith. They play a land and do nothing else. I'm pretty sure I still don't have lethal, right? I guess I can go, I can go Inkmoth Nexus. What can they have at instant speed? If they have Solitude, they can instant speed Solitude the Inkmoth. They have to have exactly Solitude. I guess Archmage's Charm would also steal it. So Solitude or Archmage's Charm hits it. Nothing else does. 3, 4, 5. Ravager Modular, Ozolith. All right, Patchwork. All right, I'm going to go for it then. Animate, Ravager. I guess let's just... I don't have to do it now. No, I do have to do it now because I need to put more counters on the Ozolith. So sack this, sack this, sack this, and then sack itself. The counters here. Then combat Ozolith here. Swing. All right, do they have it or not? They did not have it, so we have won the match. On to round 2. Round 2 on the draw. We are playing Hardened Scales. Land, Zabaz, Patchwork, Ballista, Hangerback. No green mana for Stirrings. No Scales of any kind. We can grip the Ozolith with Saga. I'm not sure if this is keepable or not. It's what? It's turn 1 Zabaz, turn 2 Patchwork Automaton, because it's the most defensible one. I think we can get better hands. Let's mull this. This is not much better of a hand, but I don't want to go to 5. So keep this and throw back, I guess, Copperline Gorge, even though we have Zabaz. Maybe I'm supposed to throw back Pendlehaven. All right, I'll throw back Pendlehaven. All right, Misty Rainforest. So over to us. Welding Jar, and then Inkmoth, and then probably Springleaf Drum, and then pass it to the opponent. They fetch a Ketria Triumph, which means they're either elementals or creativity. No, actually, no, it can mean they're Rhinos too. It's probably more likely Rhinos. Wooded Foothills, and then just passing. All right, I'm guessing Rhinos. Opponent fetches. Are they going to ice us on upkeep? Looks like it. All right, ice. All right, Urza Saga plays Zabaz. Pass to the opponent. I think our Construct tokens actually get bigger than their Rhinos do, though. Opponent fetches. Shocks in a breeding pool, so they're just going to cascade now, I presume. Yeah, Shardless Agent, sure. Rhinos, and then they get 10 power on the board. Back to us. Saga goes up. We have another Saga, which I'm not going to play right now. Copperline Gorge. I can get in with Inkmoth. I don't want to. I want to just make Constructs, so just pass back to them and make a Construct. What deck are we playing now? Hardened Scales. I guess I'm not blocking with Zabaz, so I should attack... this doesn't have flying inherently. Yeah, all right, so pass it back to them and then make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 power Construct to block one of these Rhinos. Plays an island. All right, they're attacking with everything. Make a construct. Go to blocks. Block a Rhino. And then before damage, activate Ink Moth using the drum. And now our construct is a 5/5. We go to damage, they lose one of their Rhinos, and we go to 14. All right, and they're just passing it back to us, which tells me they probably have, what, Outburst? This goes up. Let's just make another construct. And then the Saga goes, and we're probably just going to grab Shadow Spear, right? Then I'll play another Urza's Saga, and then let's equip here. And if they cascade again, I can regenerate it, so let's just attack. Swing. All right, they're just not doing anything? Okay, they're at 6 and we're at 21, so pass the turn. They just did nothing at all. Wow. They didn't cascade, they didn't flash subtlety in, nothing. All right, 5th land. Mana, 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 mana. Lorien revealed to draw cards. That's not going to get you out of that. We're just going to trample kill you with this construct. All right, back to us. We drew Ancient Stirrings. I can go Stirrings. I want to make a construct. I want to make a construct and animate Ink Moth so that this becomes a 9/9. So this is activate. So make a construct. I don't have to do that right now. If I go hanger back and then activate, make a construct. Okay, that's fine. So let's play this. Let's play a hanger back on 1. Then go to combat. Swing here, here, and here. Okay, well, they're taking lethal, so I just won't respond. All right, on to game 2. So they're definitely bringing Blood Moon in. So I want Haywire Might. All their spells are damage-based, so Welding Jar is good. Gemstone Caverns can come in on the draw. Soulless Jailer and Chalice to stop their Cascade plan. And then Patchwork seems super slow against them, so we can cut that. Let's see, cut a Zabaz. What else can I shave? Maybe just another Zabaz? All right, let's run this. So game 2 on the draw against Rhinos. We got Scales, we got Chalice of the Void, we got Urza's Saga. Hand looks good. Keep this hand. Opponent mulled to 6, plays Misty. All right, back to us. So cast Welding Jar, cast Welding Jar, cast Chalice for 0, play Copperline Gorge, play Hardened Scales, and then pass. And then next turn we'll go Saga, Hanger Back, and proceed from there. Opponent fetches on end step. Gets Ketria Triumph, plays Wooded Foothills, and it looks like they're just passing it back to us. All right, upkeep, no effect. Play Urza's Saga. We're getting forced in response. Yeah, force, Scales, and Urza's Saga. Well, that's very unfortunate. So we have no plays this turn, so just pass it back. But we still have Chalice in play. They exiled a Footfalls from their hand. Really? So they didn't suspend that on turn 1, so I guess they're short on green cards then. Opponent plays Stomping Ground. Tapped. All right, back to us. They're icing our land, sure. All right, well, let's play Ancient Stirrings. Cast Ancient Stirrings. Ballista, Ravager, Saga. Probably just Saga. We don't have Scales anymore, so the rest of the cards are not nearly as good. Yeah, so let's just grab Saga. And then pass it back. Plays a Mountain. Back to us. All right, we drew Ravager. Let's just go Saga, and let's just get Hanger back out. Hanger back on 1. Opponent responds with Subtlety. Okay. I don't really want to draw that, so let's just put it on the bottom. And then pass it back. All right, now we get attacked by Subtlety and go from 19 to 16. Back to our turn. Drawing what? Another land. All right, Urza's Saga on 2 counters now. Let's just play a land and then pass, make a construct. So we can eventually just overwhelm them with these constructs by getting Shadow Spear as well. So I'm not worried about racing this Subtlety. We go to 13, make a construct. All right, and then main phase, we'll make another construct, then go searching. So let's grab Shadow Spear. And then I guess if they have Brazen Borrower, they can bounce this. I don't need to necessarily race them yet, so let's just go Ink Moth, Ravager. Opponent responds with return target creature to owner's hand, so I can't regenerate from that. Okay, resolve Ravager. All right, pass the turn. Then next turn we get to Shadow Spear onto the construct, potentially. Opponent fetches, gets a Breeding Pool, tapped. All right, back to them. They go to combat, we go to 10. Maybe I should just Shadow Spear the Ravager so that if they have another bounce spell, they have to pick which one they want to hit. Opponent plays Shardless Agent, okay. And then we just counter their Rhinos, so they're opting not to play it. All right, back to us. So I go Canopy, draw a card, and then I don't have enough to do both. I don't really care about hitting them with Ink Moth, though, so let's just... So they can block here, so they have to have another bounce. They have to have Brazen Borrower, basically. All right, Canopy, Shadow Spear, equip to this. Go to combat, swing. All right, they take 7, they go to 10, we go to 17. So they obviously do not have an answer in their hand, so unless they're drawing into an answer, it looks like this is just going to win the race. They are both attacking. Sure, I'll take that. No blocks. We go to 12. All right, let's draw with the canopy. Urza Saga, all right. Ooh, Hangerback Walker. So let's go Saga. Play Hangerback for 4. Combat. Swing, swing. All right, Animate Inkmoth. This is exactly 10 unless they respond. Opponent Otawara is the token. All right, so activate Ravager. Eat the token. And then this can't be lethal, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's not lethal. All right, they take 2. They go to 8. And pass back to them. And then next turn, we have a bunch of stuff in play. Ready to kill them. They're going to combat. Still swinging with both. I think do I just block and then sack onto Ravager? Or do I just continue to wait? I'm not really in danger of getting killed. They have to have multiple burn spells. Yeah, I'll go to 7. Opponent plays another Shardless. Okay, so back to us. Saga goes up to 2 counters. Is this just lethal here? I go Ravager, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They only have 2 mana up. What can they have? Brazen Borrower doesn't hit lands. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just lethal, isn't it? Force of Vigor, we can regenerate it. But regenerating it removes it from combat. So it's safer to not do that. It's safer to just pass and then have multiple things up. All right, Saga. Let's move Shadow Spear here. And then I guess I just swing with this Ravager right now. Attack. All right, they're blocking it. Sure. I will trample them and gain some life. Pass it back. Play a land. All right, we have won the match. Going on to round number 3. We're on the draw round number 3. Hand looks fantastic. We will definitely keep this. Keep the hand. All right, what are we facing? Wooded Foothills. Crack. Forest. Suspending Rift Sower. Oh, we're playing against Glimpse combo or Scapeshift. One of those two. Canopy. Play Ozolith. Go. It's either Glimpse combo or Scapeshift. Mountain. All right. Urza Saga. And then we'll just play Ozolith. Pass the turn. All right. Rift Sower comes off Suspend. Breeding Pool. Okay, so it's BTL Scapeshift. Gotcha. Or Cascade. Omnath. All right, well, I'm still not sure then. All right, Urza Saga goes to 2 counters, play a land. So probably not the best move to make a Construct here. It's probably best to start getting out stuff with counters on them. I do not know which deck this is. I guess I can just start making Constructs, right? But they're only 3/3s at the moment. All right, let's Ancient Stirrings. Zabaz, Inkmoth. Inkmoth kill might happen here, or it could be a Ballista kill. So let's grab Zabaz. Zabaz or Inkmoth? So I play Inkmoth next turn. Zabaz is more likely for the Ballista kill. All right, let's grab Zabaz. And then let's just play Ballista, I think. Or maybe Ravager is better. All right, let's play Ravager. Pass the turn. Plays a land, goes up to 21. Fetch. Sacred Foundry. So is this just... Okay, I do not know what this is. Fable the Mirror Breaker. So is it just like Elementals, but they're playing Rift Sower? It can't be. It has to be Glimpse Elementals, right? It has to be. Why else would they play Rift Sower? 6 mana. Violent Outburst. Yep. So it's Glimpse Elementals. They have Karn in their deck. What else do they have? They hit Wave Sifter, Rift Sower, 4 lands. So they are playing Karn. They are playing Karn the Great Creator. They fetch. If they have another Cascade spell, they can do it again. Island. Crack Tarn. Drawing a card with the clue. Okay, so they're digging for another Cascade spell. Drawing another card with the clue. They are suspending Glimpse of Tomorrow. All right, so float mana here. Go fetch. I think I kill if I get Zabaz, right? So grab Zabaz. And then I have to play Ballista and Zabaz. So play Ballista. Comes in with 2 counters. Play the other Zabaz. Legend Rule. And then these abilities go on the stack. And then I modular onto Ravager. And then this is sack, put 6 here, put 6 here. 8, 9, 15 exactly. Sacrifice an artifact. Then sack itself and put the counters on Ballista. All right, that'll do it. Go to combat. Move these here. And then just shoot them. All right. Game 2, Glimpse. So it's another Cascade deck. So Jailer, Chalice. They're Glimpse Elementals. So they have what? Fury. So Welding Jar is probably good. And then again, all of these Patchwork Automatons are just going to be way too slow. I'm probably never racing them with Shadow Spear. All right, that is... There could be a turn where I have a lethal creature in play that isn't Inkmoth or Ballista. Like it could be Ravager, and I just Ravager all the counters onto itself. And then I need to trample it over. Let's cut a Zabaz. All right, submit. Let's see. I've got Jailer to shut Cascade off. Ozolith, Welding Jar, Hangerback. Seems good. It is slow, but it also stops their plan. Colony Garden. All right, Welding Jar. Play a Copperline Gorge, and then just pass. Breeding Pool. Shock. Plays Foundation Breaker to blow up Welding Jar. All right. Ooh, there's Hardened Scales. All right, so let's just go Land, play Soulless Jailer to shut Cascade off. And then next turn we can play both of the scales and then start getting out crazy amounts of counters. Land, fetch, shock into Steam Vents, plays Fable to Mirror Breaker. All right. So play this land, play Scales, play Ozolith, go. They discarded 2 Glimpses out of their hand. All right, I think I'm not going to block here in case they have Dead Gone to do the final 2 damage to this. So yeah, they can just hit me for 2. That's fine. Fable the Mirror Breaker again, fetching, get a mountain. All right, land. So if I play Ballista for 4, it comes in with 4 counters. If I play it for 2, it comes in with 3 counters and then goes up to 5 counters with the Ozolith. So let's just go Ballista, done. Then Ozolith here. And then I can just shoot these Fables. All right, Fables flip over, or one of them flips over. This one discards. That should be the last Glimpse in their deck. They're going to attack anyway, eh? So maybe they have Fury. I think it's still correct to just not block, and then because I get even more counters next turn, and I can absolutely ensure that this Ballista is not getting killed. Although the fact that they've gone through 3 Glimpses so far means I will block here. And if they had Fury, they would kill this anyway. So, all right, they get a land. They are playing Fury very well. So they're just going to pick Soulless Jailer off. No, they're doing 2 each. They have another 3 mana. What can they have? All right, nothing. All right, play a land, put counters here. Let's just kill this immediately. Let's see, I have 9 counters. So if I attack, they have to block, right? So if I go, let's say, pick this off, pick this off. Pick this off. This has 7 counters left on it. They can just chump with their plant token, but they do have to chump with the plant token. So kill this. I guess I don't care if they have a plant token. Move here, kill Reflection. They also may have, if they had Dead Gone, they would just try to bounce this, wouldn't they? If they had Dead Gone, they would have bounced it in response to me Ozolithing more counters here. So let's just go, All right, Hanger back. This comes in with 3 counters. And then I guess I just pass it back and they'll just shoot what I need to. I can just chump this Fury and make 3 Thopters. All right, Fable flips over. Combat is fine. Swing, swing, just with these 2. All right, those resolve. Block here, block here. What in the world do they have at instant speed? Odawara. All right, well, remove a counter to kill. I'm going to kill both of these off then. Shoot Reflection, shoot Fury. Then I will shoot their plant token and let it get bounced. Then we block this, it dies, and then we take 2 from this one. All right, if they have a final Cascader, they do have a lot of permanents. White, blue, red, green, Omnath, sure. Play a Colony Garden to get another plant and trigger the Omnath to gain life. Sacking the remaining treasures to evoke Wave Sifter. Okay. Ooh, Ravager, I think we just win now, right? So, let me just confirm the math on that. So it's Ballista comes in with 3, Ravager comes in with 3, and then we go, Hangerback goes up to 4. We have to have the kill. Yeah, we definitely have it. Done. Counters. Play Ravager, counters, Hangerback, activate, sack this, and sack one of these. Yeah, all right, we got it. 3-0 with Scales, on to round number 4. All right, round 4 on the play. Scales, Ozolith, we don't have any creatures, but we've got, ways to get them. So this hand's great. Copperline, Scales, go. Opponent plays Spirebluff Canal, and Ragavan. Ooh, 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 ooh la la. All right, I will not look a gift horse in the mouth. Die you. Opponent taps the Steam Vents. All right, back to us. Let's just swing with the Ballista. Swing. Opponent goes to 19. Play a land. Play Ancient Stirrings. Grabbing Welding Jar seems pretty good. And then we'll see if they try to kill this. Cast Welding Jar. It resolved. Cast the second Ozolith. All right, that got Spell Pierced. That's fine. So pass it back to them. Play DRC. It is 1 spell. Play another DRC. Okay. Ooh, land. Excellent. So I can kill both of these now. Ballista for 3 counters. So they have instant creature and land that they can put in the graveyard. Opponent fetches. Stalks into Steam Vents. Okay. And they're going to cast Bolt on this Ballista, triggering both of them. All right, well, I will just remove a counter to kill one of them then. And so they're going to see if they can surveil the last piece into the graveyard. They did surveil the last piece into the graveyard. All right. Well, I'm not going to just trade 1 for 1. So the race is on. They attack us for 3. We go to 17, play another land, play another Darcy. They just have 1 card left. All right, go to our turn. So I can activate this, or I can just Shadow Spirit. Activating it puts this to 5 counters. That seems better than just playing and equipping Shadow Spear. It's also more mana efficient. So let's attack. Swing. No blocks. Add a counter. Or add 2 counters, rather. Okay, opponent takes 5, goes to 11. Play this tap land, pass. And their Darcys have to attack, so they can't even block it. Well, they could have blocked that turn, but they opted not to. Second land, or second card in hand, rather. All right, we got it. Against Murktide, Relic, This graveyard stuff doesn't matter. Welding Jar to defend against their burned spells. And then Patchwork is good in this matchup. So what am I cutting? One Zabaz. I'm also on the draw, so Gemstone Caverns can come in, and I can cut a... Oh, they're going to have Blood Moon, so I need Haywire Might. They will have a lot of removal, so maybe just Zabazes can get cut. Keep one of them, and then I can cut a land for Gemstone, but it can't be a forest. I guess Karplusan Forest will do. Maybe Saga is less good since they have Blood Moon. Yeah, let's cut a Saga and keep this land here, and we'll throw this back. All right, on the draw against Murktide, we do have Haywire Might and Ozolith and Ravager, so I will keep. Opponent shocks Steam Vents and then just passes to us. Well, I'm not inclined to cast a Haywire Might that's just going to die, especially now that it can trigger Patchwork. So let's just play Ancient Stirrings. Ancient Stirrings for Ballista, probably. All right, let's get Ballista, then pass. Opponent casts or cycles Lorien Revealed, gets an island. Yeah, so they're definitely Blood Mooning us. So if I play a Haywire Might, so I don't have the green mana to actually hit that, so I should run out Ozolith right now. All right, cast the Ozolith, or Ozolith the Shattered Spire, rather. See if this gets countered. All right, it does indeed get countered. Opponent cycles Lorien Revealed and gets another land. All right, let's just play Patchwork and see if that gets countered. It does indeed get countered. Well, now I'm not going to just not play this, so let's play Haywire Might and pass. Expressive Iteration. Revealed Spirebluff Canal, which comes in tapped. All right, land. Let's attack with Haywire Might. Take 1 to 17, and then let's just play Hangerback on 2 because it's the most removal proof of any of these creatures. Opponent casts Consider. Plays Tarn. Fetches. Gets a Steam Vents and shocks it in. Do they have Fury, and they're just going to Fury both of these? No, they're just drawing 3 with Lorien Revealed. Okay, so land. I can play Ravager, and I can play Ballista on 2, and I can tick this up. But without Hardened Scales, it's not lethal. So what I should do is go Ravager, Ballista, activate this, then swing with Haywire Might. You're at 13. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not lethal. All right, pass. Opponent plays Ledger Shredder. Okay. Casting Murktide and then Conniving. Putting a Ledger Shredder in the graveyard. Murktide is an 8/8. Play a tap land. So they have 1 interaction spell. If I draw Scales, this is way better. So let's crack this and draw a card. Welding Jar. All right. Cast Welding Jar. Play a land. So that is 4 on here. So 5 artifacts, 6 artifacts, 7 artifacts. This becomes... So no reason not to just play this Ballista for 2. No, there is, because I need to pump this up. So activate this. Then I play another Ballista. 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't get this to be bigger than I can attack through them. So it's probably better to just pass, but I want to use my mana on this turn, so let's play this. Yeah, Connive, that's fine. Discard Lorien Revealed. And then we'll just pass to them. Consider. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. EE for 0. Okay. Popping it. Well, the only thing I have on 0 is Welding Jar, so I'll just sack Welding Jar. Oh no, all these guys are on 0, right. I forgot about that. For some reason I thought they were on 2, but they're not. Unholy Heat in response. Yeah, resolve your Connive trigger. Alright, well, I don't think that matters. They have Delirium, right? Yeah. Alright, modular onto the Haywire Might, I guess. And then that fizzles, and then make 4 Thopters. Consider... Well, I'm going to have to draw pretty well to get out of this. So, okay, what I should have done was sack all of the... Sack Hangerback and both Ballistas, and then sacked all the Thopter tokens. Alright, I'll put 1 Thopter here. So I go to 12. They still have 4 cards in hand. Bolt the Haywire Might, sure. Alright, Ozolith. Put a counter here. Then go to combat. If I swing with both, I'm dead if they have a removal spell. No, actually I'm not. So swing with these 2. Alright, they're at 9. I have 1 blocker. Casts EI. Gets a bolt. So they bolt this. Connive here. Oh, Murktide for more Murktides. Okay, they got it. Game 3. I'm pretty sure I just play exactly the same stuff. Yeah, running back exactly the same. On the play. All right, turn 1 Hardened Scales. We'll keep it. Copperline, cast Scales. And then I'll play Patchwork since it is warded. Darcy, Bauble. Bauble trigger. All right, so land, Patchwork. Comes in with 2 counters. And then cast Welding Jar. Oh no, it gets 3 counters, right. So then Welding Jar resolves. And then we will pass back. And then next turn I get to play Hangerback or Ravager, whichever one. And start making this Patchwork really big. Opponent casts. Cycles Lorien Revealed. Steam Vents. Puts it in tapped. Alright, well clearly they're not going to attack. So back to us. Ooh, Ozolith. Alright, so land. cast the Ozolith. This gets more counters. And then let's just start attacking. Swing. All right, they go to 13 and then pass the turn. EI. If they're not interacting here, that's pretty good for us. Spirebluff Canal. And then obviously no attacks. So let's go Hangerback for 1. Trigger this. So then Hangerback comes in with 3 counters. This gets more counters. Play Haywire Might. More triggers. These go on the stack. So now I have an 11-11 Patchwork. Go to combat. Swing. They block and then pass it back. And so now this is an 11-11 and I have Welding Jar to regenerate it. So pretty sure I've got it. Island. Cast Ledger Shredder. I guess they can chump block it, right? Yeah. They're flashing in Dress Down on end step so that none of these have any abilities. Okay. They connived a Bolt to the graveyard, so this is a 2-4. They still have to chump this. Ravagers, which we're not going to play right now because of this. So Ozolith onto here gets more counters. And then we attack with everything and they have to chump this. All right, we got the match. We're 4-0. Can we get our first 5-0 with Scales? All right, round 5, we're on the draw. All right, Scales, Ravager, etc. Keep. I can put Gemstone in turn 1, but I actually don't want to because I'm going to play Scales on turn 1 and then, yeah, I'm just going to play Scales on turn 1. So, yeah, so we're not doing it. Copperline Gorge. The Mirror. The Mirror, ladies and gentlemen. Play that and then pass it back. Urza Saga. Opponent plays Patchwork. Man, we're doing the exact same thing, aren't we? All right, Urza Saga. Play Patchwork. And then I'm actually not going to play this Welding Jar yet because I'm going to play the other Patchwork and trigger them both. Saga goes up to 2. Plays a land. Although maybe it's correct not to. No, it's probably correct to just do that. All right, the Math Mirror. Another Scales. All right, they're winning the Math Mirror. They are definitely winning the Math Mirror. Zabaz, yeah. The Math Mirror is highly in their favor. No blocks. Saga ticks up. All right, well, we're just going to go Ink Moth, Patchwork, trigger this one. 2 counters. This resolves. Then we go Shadow Spear, trigger both of them, cast Welding Jar, and then we're probably dead, right? They go Tutor for Shadow Spear, equip. This is an 8-8 plus anything else they can cast. Also, Zabaz can kill itself. So it becomes an 8-8. Zabaz can maybe kill itself. It depends. Well, I'm going to attack. Actually, no. I guess if I attack, then they just block with Zabaz, put all the counters here, and then we're dead. So I don't attack. All right. Is League matchmaking affected by your win rate? Like, if you're 4-0, are you more likely to go against other people who are 4-0 or similar? I have no idea. It feels so far like that's the case, but I'm not sure. So they float 1. So yeah, then they're just going to go get Shadow Spear, equip here. Then they can blow Zabaz up and put 5 counters on it. And then Zabaz, the rest of the counters here. So it goes to, it's 3, 4, 5. It becomes a 12-12. Then 3 more counters from Ozolith, so 5 more counters from Ozolith, so it's a 17 power creature. And then the Shadow Spear, oh, they're not getting Shadow Spear? Or they just have it? Oh, they're tapping for another Zabaz. Okay. Oh, they're making Zabaz have flying? Why? Ozolith the Shattered Spire. Uh-huh. Why not just attack me with this and Shadow Spear it? Destroy this. Oh, because then all of these counters move into here and I can't block them. Yep. So then that's 10, 12... 13, 16. Yep, we got Zabazed and it's flying, so I can't block it. Well, they were on the play and had double Scales. So what is the mirror supposed to be? Force of Vigor, 100%. And then Haywire Might also. And then I'm not sure what else. Gemstone Caverns. What is bad? These are the slowest cards in the deck, so I can cut those. Hangerback Walker, maybe? Let's go with 1 Stirrings and 1... Not sure. Actually, I need green cards for Force of Vigor. 1 Hangerback. Maybe Welding Jar is the cut? No, because Force of Vigors are coming in from both sides. All right, let's cut 1 of these. Yeah, I guess that's okay. All right, let's submit that. All right, on the play, we have an Ozolith. No Scales, though. So what's my play here? It's turn 1, Zabaz, turn 2, Hangerback, turn 3, or it's turn 1, Ozolith, turn 2. Nah, this doesn't look like I can actually do anything with this hand. I need Scales in the hand. Or interaction. All right, mulligan. All right, so we got Scales. So keep this, put back what? Definitely have Scales. Definitely have the Ozolith. Definitely want multiple drops. So it's probably like keep Ancient Stirrings so that I can Stirrings for Ravager or something and put back Hangerback Walker. All right. Reveals Gemstone Caverns, exiling a Karkluzen Forest. All right. Copperline Gorge, Scales, go. Plays Patchwork. All right, Argo. Ooh, Force of Vigor. So land, Ozolith, Zabaz, pass to them. Now I have these. Cast Ancient Stirrings. This has Ward, unfortunately. So I guess you're not supposed to cut Patchwork Automatons, Hangerback Walker. I presume they'll attack here, so no blocks. I don't have to do it now. I can do it in their upkeep. Oh, I guess no, I can't because then the Hangerback gets more counters on it. Yeah. All right, let's just draw a card. Well, that's not really helpful. So instead of stopping their upkeep, let's just swing with Zabaz. All right, force these two. So yeah, they tap in response, so they get more Thopters. Really need to draw something good here. Stirrings. Gets Arcbound Ravager. Well, that's pretty good for them. And they have Ink Moth. Yikes. Casts Walking Ballista. So we're probably going to die next turn then. Well, there's another Hardened Scales. All right, so I guess I'm not attacking anymore. Land, Ravager. Yeah. They still don't even have Scales, but they just have so much stuff going for them. All right, they're out of cards at least. So another Ravager. If I don't block... Okay, I have to block this, right? Yeah. Swing with Ballista. So I block here, and then they just go Ravager a bunch of stuff onto the Ballista. But what else am I going to do? I need to do what? Like untap and play Ballista immediately? All right, block here. So then they have to Ravager, and they have to sack multiple things, and then Ravager onto the Ballista. So they're putting 2 counters here, right? So if I blow up my own Ozolith, this goes to 5 counters. And then they have to sack more with Ravager. They have to sack this and this. Because otherwise I just lose my Zabaz. No, I don't get a counter for doing that, though. What am I thinking? I'm thinking of Ravager. That doesn't work. Yeah, so... So it gets to 3 counters. So yeah, it goes to 3 counters here, and then this just dies and puts 2 of its counters into the Ozolith. Yep. All right, well, I think we're still dead, though. So Canopy, draw a card. All right, well, we're dead. Unfortunate. Did not get the 5-0, but we did go 4-1. So that is Hardened Scales for you. Obviously didn't play it perfectly, but I think I played it reasonably well for someone who has... I think I've played Scales once in my entire life, like over 2 years ago. Clearly, I didn't know exactly how to sideboard and whatnot, but I think I did reasonably well for my quote-unquote first time playing it.